So, hello everyone. We are just now coming from the meeting that wasn't a meeting for me. My dear sister, would you like to give a recap as to whatever you want to say, however you want to phrase it? Please just speak freely, if you may.
This was a meeting, a preparation meeting that they presented to the city for development
Right.
of a grocery store, a veterinarian
Clinic.
shop,
A radio lab. After school program.
And it was a good meeting. You know, they presented it well, and it sounds good. You know, if it happens, that would be good. But they haven't even secured the land for this big project yet.
Wow. So I thought they were going to use the cathedral.
They got part of what they need, but they don't have land for that big project that they did.
Okay.
So that was about it. It sounds positive. We'll continue to go to the meetings and see what happens.
And what about the outrageous behavior that you saw? Do you want to talk about that at all?
No, I think you should talk about that because it was done to you.
Yeah, Juanita Gotti is on a insane power trip. And unfortunately, the mayor came in after the meeting started. And Juanita had insisted that I can't film, only me, because she doesn't, she wants to control how the public,
run city council.
Right. And my filming is exposing so much of their dysfunction and their division that she's targeting me. And the mayor says she's violating so many laws that she could be sued, prosecuted, and removed from council because she violated constitutional law, sunshine law, public filming laws, everything that the city is supposed to be open to. Juanita Gotti has decided to exercise her non-authority and push for removal. She's threatening to have people locked up, thrown in jail, fined. And so she's created such a hostile environment in there that this is going to be really one of the breaking news stories when she does it to somebody and there's a real flare-up in there. There's a real
consequence.
Right.
You should have said, no, I'm not leaving. And see, then that would have started a big commotion. Then something would have been done about it.
Yeah, but I just, and even Corinne Stevenson, the city council president, told me, she said, Juanita Gotti would never do that to you again. So I'm going to post this and
and I am a witness to how she totally disrespected the cameraman.
Right.
Something needs to be done about that because she's on a power trip.
She is. And unfortunately, a budget was passed. But a budget was passed because I think it was you, Nate, and us in the audience who got the budget passed because they wouldn't even vote on it until your voice started to really become
nuisance to it.
Right. And then I started to chime in. And then Nate said, look, we need to pass this budget even if it's a temporary budget. And his statement, his speech was so clear and it was so direct and so impactful that it swayed even those on council who had no intention of passing a budget. So I also learned that you got up to speak for a few minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, what did you say?
At my 3-minute speaking issue, I brought up the fact that I wanted to know, was the land already, did we have a land in our possession for this big project that we doing?
Right.
And she said, oh, we have some land, but we don't have all the land.
Who said that?
This is what Gowdy said.
Okay.
This was the answer she gave.
Okay.
And, they're making all these plans and don't have land.
Right.
They putting the cart before the horse.
Right. I'm so glad that's a very astute and intelligent observation, because with the chaos, with the dysfunction, with the divided agendas of so many of the city council members, the three who are the worst, they're never going to come to a real consensus on even. They barely got the budget passed, so I would be very surprised if they could actually know how to go out and acquire land when they're so focused on giving themselves pay raises and threatening people who come to show up and view and participate in the council meetings and the other.
This is our civic duty.
Right.
To participate and voice our disagreements when we disagree.
Right. Agreements and disagreements.
Agreement and disagreements.
Right.
Now, she had the police officer tell me, he was looking at me. He didn't tell me directly.
Right.
But he was looking at me when he said it, because I had an outburst when they were not going to pass the budget.
Right.
And I was determined that budget was going to get passed.
You were.
And so I made it known.
Really were. You really were.
Voice and my passion.
Yes.
Get it done.
Yes.
And this is what I told him at the 3-minute issue today. I said, y'all wasn't going to pass the budget until that big commotion happened. But
slow down.
I'm driving, huh?
Okay, go ahead.
But I'm letting everyone know that I'm passionate about this.
Yes.
And I'm passionate about the city moving forward.
Yes.
All the pettiness and vindictiveness of those three, it's Gowdy, Bahoviak, and Corinne Stevens.
Wow.
They keep the council in an uproar.
Right.
And the residents are the one that's going to suffer.
Right. Well, we know there are recalls specifically focused on Patricia and Juanita. And
no, it's on all three of them.
It's on all three of them?
Yes.
Well, I hear the most vocal outrage is against Juanita and Patricia.
Yes.
And so if we get those two recalled, then the whole atmosphere, the whole energy, the whole focus of the city council will change.
Yes.
So that's where we are at in this. And Wanda, I would sure like for you to be a repetitive guest on, my discussions, on my broadcasts, on my coverage, because I think that you have the heart and the passion and the dedication and the knowledge, because you've been a resident here how long?
40 years.
Wow. So 40 years more than what I know.
And I'm determined to help the city forward so it can come back to its glory.
Right.
I want to see it come back to its glory.
Right. And
before I leave here.
And if we get the right people in there, we can make that a reality.
Yes.
And that's why this meeting happened tonight. And it's unfortunate that Juanita wouldn't let me cover it because of her own personal vendetta against me filming and bringing truth to light. And but Corinne Stevens, the city council president, told me to my face, she said, Fred, that will never happen again. So, in life there are unexpected, unbelievable occurrences. Tonight was one, but hey, that was just round one against that imbecile, that fruitcake Juanita Gowdy. But
I would definitely bring charges against her for that.
Yeah.
If she went against the charter by doing that because she had a personal vendetta against you,
right,
I would take that to court all the way.
Right. So I will be talking to other members of the city council. They call me every day, and it is just really unfortunate that it had to go, because it was a good meeting from what they presented, but no one will ever get to see it. No, I was the only one filming. That's the crime.
Yes.
That's the robbery.
Yes. No one will be able to see what they're offering the city.
Right.
It sounds like a good plan.
Right. So.
But because of her vindictive. No, that's not it. The word I'm missing. Because of her viciousness.
Yes, that's even better.
Against you.
That's even a better word. Vicious. It was vicious, and it was.
She would not allow
me to film
that.
Right.
And she made sure that the officer looked at me when he told me.
Yeah, because she wanted to threaten you and me.
Oh, that's what she did.
Yeah.
That's what she did.
Wow. And you're an East Cleveland resident.
For 40 years.
Wow. Yep, it's a left right here.
Right here.
Uh-huh. So, y'all, Wanda was so wonderful. We are going to do this a lot more. And, man, please support our efforts, support our movement, and come out and be a part of these East Cleveland City Council meetings, because we need volunteers to push these petitions through. And I will provide the phone number and different information so we can get you guys who want to volunteer. Yeah, right here. I go in that door right there. So, guys, I'm home. Thank you so much, Wanda. And Cleveland, we'll be back. Love y'all.